pow. Segment 2. Right here on the Danny Vegas live show. Thank you so much for all the great emails I get every week about how people are loving the show. They're loving the hashtag oneluckygal format. The show is just exploding. People love it. More people come up to me all the time saying, Danny, I watched this show. And I say, why are you whispering?
I know.
It's like you're talking about...
Talk out loud.
It's like, I like Trump, but I don't want anybody to know.
Oh, that's the problem. Everybody's so afraid.
Everybody's so afraid.
Don't be afraid.
Everything's so afraid. But anyway, we're going to take a little bit of time in this segment, segment 2. Let's kind of catch up on the election stuff. Now, everyone knows I'm an independent, so I don't really watch the conventions because I just kind of think those are for folks that are just really into it.
Well, they're very staged to make a wow factor.
Right.
You have the most amazing speakers. You have the best speechwriters. Well, most of the time.
Right.
Then you have plagiarism.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, did that really happen?
Well, the funny thing is, don't the Democrats wish they can go back a week where they can just throw poison on an immigrant that can't speak very well? Wouldn't that be fun? Let's go back a week when we were just throwing poison on her. Be careful what you wish for. But anyway, you know.
I like you. I don't watch them. I was actually up in the mountains.
That's
so
right.
I haven't.
You took a weekend.
Yeah, I did. I escaped, and I watched a little bit this morning. Of course, obviously tonight's the big night where
big night. I will not be watching.
I won't either. You know.
But anyway, here's what I wanted to get into because you're right. I mean, last week, you know, and it's so funny how this tit for tat keeps going by the goose steppers who love this stuff, and you know, Mrs. Trump, you know, their speech writers lifted a couple lines from the speech of Michelle Obama from 6 years earlier, and oh my goodness, it was a major story.
You know, I have to give Melania credit for the simple fact she's not in the public eye. I mean, she was maybe in her career field, but now she wants to be a mom, take care of her son.
Right.
She talked, they wrote a speech. I thought she delivered it very well. Was it plagiarized? Facts are facts, can't argue it.
Can't argue with it.
I thought collectively she carried herself very well. She did a great job considering the circumstances, and she's held her head high. I respect her for that.
Well, you know, someone wrote the speech for her, and
right.
I'm sure she's not sitting there saying, oh, I remember those lines. You know, I'm sure. And like I said, I will tell you, folks, and for folks that English is your first language, my wife is from another country. Believe me, English not being your first language, it is tough, and she does a very good job. And you know, but anyway, and I'm not saying, you know, hey, I think the speechwriter should have a foot up their ass, to be quite frankly. But at the same time, boy, wasn't it a lot of fun for my Democratic friends to throw poison on her, not knowing that a week later that we just found out that the Democratic National Committee has been in the tank and threw and rigged the whole primary process.
Well, now maybe Russia can hack the emails. Oh wait, that's not good.
Well, what's kind of interesting is now that's the whole deal. Now it's kind of like we gotta get the attention off the fact that they wrote the emails and they did call Mexicans taco bowls. We got to get away from that, and we got to somehow tie the Russians with Trump into this. I mean, it's just so interesting because and you Republicans, hey, if they could hack the D's, don't be surprised if next week it's your turn for your emails, because believe me, I'm sure there are some emails where taco bowls is pretty light compared to some of yours. So, but the question is, okay, the two sides now are trying to find a way to minimize on the D side. Clean up the crap on one side, and of course put a magnifying it on the other. We expect that.
That's sad. That's sad that we expect that.
But as a Democrat, and because I'm an independent, I just like, oh my God. I mean, the chair of the DNC resigned over this. I mean, she literally within days was gone.
You've got to clean. Okay.
What happened there?
You've got to. Somebody's your scapegoat. Somebody has to take the fall.
Someone's got to pay.
Somebody paid. Now,
the faster they pay, the faster we can move on.
She was forced out. Move on to the next one. Can we just talk what's going on, how we're going to fix it? I'm so tired of the mudslinging and the attacks and the put-downs. Get over it, people. We're not in high school. We're not in junior high. We're not in elementary school. What are the issues? How are we going to resolve them?
Now, you know, it's kind of interesting. I'm going to ask you a question. Now, if you were a Bernie Sanders supporter, which I don't think you are. I don't think you are.
No, I did support Bernie Sanders.
And because in their eyes, because he was saying this all along through the primary, this thing is rigged, man. I should be, it's just, there's no way I could win when before we even casted a vote, Hillary Clinton already had, hundreds and hundreds of superdelegates in her camp, and we haven't even cast a vote yet. And now it came true that they were in the tank from her from the beginning, and there was just no way they were going to let this old man win.
You've got to go to the numbers, go to the facts, not the rhetoric. When you put the numbers on the table, the delegates that she had, the everything, the facts are there. Do I think it was rigged? I don't know. Do I think Bernie had a chance? The numbers said he didn't. If you look at the statistics don't lie. Media takes 6, 7 emails, plagiarism here and this. They take it and they make this ridiculous. Look, we're talking about it. Wait a minute, they won. They won. We're talking about it.
Well, that's true.
Do I think it was fixed? No.
You do not. Well, you do not think it was. Well, let's tone down the word fixed, because people cast votes and it doesn't matter what the DNC wanted to happen, but there was evidence what they were, media outlets were sending stories to them for editing before they even would go to an editor in the news organization, so they were literally okaying media copy, which, people in that media business can look at like, oh, man, it's just like, ooh, it just kind of stinks in here. I think votes are votes. I think at the end of the day, votes are votes, and if the DNC which is supposed to be a neutral platform for both candidates to use, okay. It was not that. The evidence shows that it was not a impartial body, but votes are kind of votes, and I'm thinking, well, if it was totally, say they didn't do anything, say they were clean as a whistle, would the vote tally have changed? I don't think so. I don't think there's enough Bernie Sanders supporters, and I'm going to get into a little bit about Bernie Sanders, maybe not today, but I'm going to get into that a little bit. It's going to be pretty highly controversial, but stay tuned for that. But I don't, and this is the way I think about it. Obviously, I can't even remember the name, the Swartz lady. Obviously, she's, a bare-knuckle, hard-fighting Democrat who will die with her Democratic socks on. It doesn't matter, and her job, but, the question is, the DNC is supposed to be a neutral body.
Right.
It was not.
No.
So, but again, the logics, and that's kind of the Clinton logic, well, it wouldn't have mattered. It doesn't matter if we broke the rules. The result was the same whether the rules were broken or not. And I just find it interesting, Andeen, Rose, how the two sides literally are strategizing, minimizing, maximizing. Minimizing this, maximizing that. Trump now wants espionage by the Russians. Okay. It's almost like the WWF, or it's like the wrestling. It's kind of like,
duke it out.
It's like the way we fix the fact that we sided with one candidate when we're supposed to be impartial. I won't say rigged for my Democratic friend here. So what we're going to do is we got to somehow connect Trump with the Russians.
Right.
I mean, this is right out of a spy novel.
I feel like I'm on a high school playground, and this bully is bigger than this bully. So this week, this bully is going to win because they have more crap on somebody. And they've taken this little paragraph and they've made it monstrous. So therefore, we as an overall sheep society, instead of reading the facts, reading and understanding what it's all about, where this information is coming from, not the rhetoric that you hear, read and understand it. We're just going to listen to it, and we're going to get all heated up over it, and we're going to, it was fixed, and we're going to do espionage, and the Russians are...
What is amazing, Andeen, is I'll listen, I don't listen to MSNBC. That's kind of to me a government channel, but CNN and Fox, between the two, you can kind of read between the lines. You watch something on Fox or CNN. 20 minutes later, someone's making an argument post with the exact same shit that they saw on TV.
Yes.
That's a goose stepper.
Yes.
Okay? In other words, feed me what you want me to say, and I'll just say it.
Yes.
That's why I tell everybody. And I know my beautiful friend's a Democrat, and I know my Jody Rocco's a Republican, and I don't even know where Nicole Taylor Sharp is.
She Switzerland.
She just slips it in the middle. Be an independent. I used to be a Republican. Right out of the Reagan playbook. But you know what? We're out of time. Maybe we'll come back to that in segment 3. We'll be back.